repetindo a história de Época, isso é ótimo de saber. Conhece o canal Rickykurono, tá? Se inscreve no canal.
Renata knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. The temple had risen out of the empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage. Renato finally realized that Lapino was a traitor to the cause. And maybe Renato could use that somehow.
Vamos atrás do Coelho, vamos resgatá-lo. Precisa finalizar logo esses gameplays porque ainda tem bastante coisa vindo aí, viu?
Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen the winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the ravens? That was odd. Renato had been here, at this exact place, at this exact time. This time, there were so many more ravens.
Será que não mais XP? 1800, vamos ver as batalhas. A gente vai ganhar XP sim no Skyrim então.
Renato looked around the empty village. How had he ever imagined Lapino was anything but a traitor? Any honest rabbit would have fled with the villagers. If they got to Lapino first, they'd eat him.
E as batalhas são demoradas do mesmo jeito, então.
For breakfast or a snack, ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lapino. Well, unless he really was a traitor, obviously. Then they'd probably pin a medal on his chest. Lapino would betray him. But now Renato knew that. What would Lapino do if he knew that Lapino was going to betray him? Well, he could concentrate his scheme, wouldn't he? Use Lapino's betrayal against him and it would blow up his face. Maybe he was overthinking this. Well, that would be a first. Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. My chance to discard only 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who happened to also be a deadly sorcerer, and his only daughter? That would be worth it. He'd always had a soft spot for her, and he felt sure she had one for him. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power. To make the Sky Ripper, the transcendent...
Através do Sky Reaper. Eu acho que tem vários caminhos aqui pra fechar nesse mesmo aqui.
It's beautiful here, thought Ronaldo. It was nice to be back with his old war buddy. All right. Lapino was a traitor. But still, it was good company. Sour in the air, like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time. Felt wrong all over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have humans, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. There were insects, but few birds, if you didn't count the ravens. Ronaldo smelled sick animals and dying lives. No healthy ones. And getting a bad feeling about this. Ronaldo thought, maybe Lapino was right. Maybe he should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming. As he held the radiant icosahedron, Ronaldo felt queasy. Dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides. It wasn't healthy to be so close to the eye of a god. How could he use it? He could take it to the observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Ronaldo ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. Honestly, Ronaldo ached to be rid of it. Tell you what, said Lapino. I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial outpost. The Imperial outpost was a vital communications node. Taking it could shatter the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps, maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Ronaldo. But what if Lapino lost the core to the Empire? That could be a good thing, couldn't it? Was Ronaldo ready to take that risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself.
Desculpa, gente, o meu celular não estava carregando aqui. Mas não tem muito segredo de onde a gente vai, né? Vamos atacar o posto avançado.
Trust me, Ronaldo, you won't regret this. I'll treat the core like it was my own baby daughter. As the Farfarer dived towards the Nexus, Lapino was jumping up and down with excitement. Stop rabbiting around, Renato said. Lapino just stared at him. The moment the ship landed, Lapino leapt off the ship.
Bom, aqui a gente já sabe que já tem 2 finais.
As Lapino vanished into the wilds of the Nexus, Renato vaguely remembered Lapino had a baby daughter, didn't he? And he told her mother he was going out to get some Easter eggs, and he'd never come back. But Renato was relieved not to carry the core anymore. He was already feeling better. But who knows, maybe this time Lapino would get it right. And if Renato could take the outpost, he'd have access to all the Empire's communications in his sector. Right?
Vamos ao posto avançado. Quase fazendo um level por história agora.
Renato caught his breath. His joints still hurt, but he couldn't feel the poison in his system anymore. He'd let the armature slip out of his hands to save his friend Lapino. Of course he had to let Lapino take the core. The rebellion needed every man doing his duty. And there would be no good taking on an Imperial outpost, right? Renato took the outpost with a song in his heart. Soon, he was stuffing his sack with key messages from and to the fleet. Then the far speaker Toad chortled a new message. The observatory had been sacked by ravens. Lapino and all the scientists had been taken to the mountains. Why? Why had he trusted Lapino again? And now the Empire had the core. Renato hailed the rebel base to warn them. But their far speaker didn't vote back. Was the base under attack too? Who knew what was going on at the base? And he knew what the ravens would do to Lapino if Renato didn't rescue him fast. Well, actually, he wasn't exactly sure. It kind of depended on whether Lapino was a traitor or not. Renato just couldn't bring himself to believe that. What are all friends for, if not to need rescuing every few days?
Todos os dias tem que resgatar os amiguinhos.
Renato felt a twinge of doubt. Should he have gone to the base? No. Logically, wherever they'd taken Lapino was probably where they took the core, right? Oh, why couldn't Lapino have just for once not gotten so captured? Was that too much to ask? He shouldn't be too hard on the right. But he was brave.
dá uns bugs, não abre umas portas às vezes, mas...
Or the ravens had captured him. Just rocks and snow and the usual scouts. No sign of the corps either. Just quiet rabbit chase. Oh, trust Pino to screw up even getting captured. But what was this rebellion for anyway? Pino was a useless goof. But he was a friend. If friends didn't matter anymore, what?
Se eu fizer mais do que 1005, por exemplo...
What's the point of winning this war? Recovering a single weapon and letting it fall into enemy hands. Risking an assault on an enemy base for military secrets, and then failing to deliver them to the... At the end of the mountain path, Renato came to a clearing. There was a campfire, raven feathers, and... Lupino's lucky deck of cards. Well, that wasn't good. Renato hoped Lupino had not tried to cheat his captors at cards. Ravens were much better than weasels at counting, and they had a very poor sense of humor. Then, he saw what he had hoped never to see. Fresh scraps of rabbit fur. Ragged and bloody, ravens would eat anything. By Crabthar's hammer! Renato screamed to the sky. I will avenge you! The rebels had assembled their fleet. Ahead, the clouds were dark with Imperial ships. If he could reach the Emperor before the rest of the rebels did, maybe he could settle this without too much bloodshed. He set sail, and the Farfarer shot forward.
Eita.
Poor Lepino had never been a great warrior. The mad rabbit was good for a lark and a laugh, and a pint. The thought of ravens eating him made Renato furious. The way they were eating up the land, the way the Emperor was eating up the people with his new, bloodthirsty ways. He would make them all dead. Renato had a feeling that was the back door to something. But what?
Normalmente esse caminho todo que se faz, tipo, não tem nada.
He had given up every objective to save his friend. He had given up the armature, the core, the gem, and even Zenobia. He loved her, he realized. Now the diamond is gone. A hero looks out for his friends, even when they're gone. He would send Lupino an honor guard of ravens to serve him in the halls of the valley. He would avenge him. This was a roundabout way of getting there.
Mais uma batalhinha. A última, vou fechar mais um card.
Finally, he reached the Emperor's ship. And there was Lupino, surrounded by ravens. He was alive! They'd eaten some other rabbit. I'll save you! He shouted with joy and flung himself at the ravens. Oh, you shouldn't have, said Lupino when the last raven was down. Renato threw his arms around his best friend. I had to come. I love you, man. You really, really shouldn't have, said Lupino. And Renato felt a rather sharp pain in his back. As he collapsed, Lupino took the dagger out of Renato's back and wiped it off on Renato's sleeve. Why, you always have to be the hero. Brave Renato, epic Renato, super sexy Renato. I'm sick of it. As Renato died, all he could think was, damn it, fooled again.
Fizemos o 3. Isso aí, galera, falta só 2 finais agora. Para você que está acompanhando, continue, por favor. Não pare de acompanhar, tá? E a gente vai continuar no próximo episódio, galera. Muito obrigado pela presença, pelos comentários e views, tá bom? E é isso aí. Um abraço.